What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk to you about, should you sell Tsly? Tesla's having a hard time. Tsly is just, crap the bed. Let's talk about it. This is Mike, the tactical stock scalper. All right. I am sitting outside in this beautiful early spring day. Now, it's still winter here in Kansas City, but I want to sit outside. It's a beautiful day. I will do my best to keep the sun out of your eyes. So, with that being said, should you sell Tsly? Well, you never should talk in absolutes when it comes to the stock market. And what I mean by that is you should never in your mind or verbally, say things like, you should never sell at a loss. Or say things like, you should always sell at a loss, right? Never talk in absolutes. Why is that? Well, that's because the market isn't an absolute. It doesn't go together. In every situation, and everybody is different. So let's talk about it. Some things you could do to mitigate loss, and should you sell it? And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, if anyone cares. All right, first, as Tsly is going down, right? And we know this is all relative to Tesla. We're not a bunch of morons. We know Tesla's going down due to Tesla, right? So, what I think about as I see my Tsly price continue to tank and the dividends not currently making up for the loss of share price depreciation, I'm thinking, are there better opportunities? One thing that really bugs me in my account is dead money. Like, if it takes me, a couple, 3, 4 years, whatever, to break even on Tsly, is there other things I could get into where I could just cut Tsly, right? Cut it, take the loss, move into something that has much better current potential than Tsly. And that's always something you could do. You could sell at a loss. Find something that has better potential, eat the loss, move into that, and this thing that has better potential can make you more money than you're losing in Tsly. For example, about 3 months ago, maybe, I sold out of Tsly. Right? I had it, and I was down a little bit, nothing huge, and I just took it, like it was maybe 4 months ago, maybe 5, something like that. And I took that loss. I took everything I had in Tsly and shoved that money into QQQY and IWMY. What happened? Well, with the extra money I made in dividends and some share price appreciation, I made up my loss in Tsly. So for me, that was a great move, right? Sold at a loss, even though people will say don't sell at a loss. Obviously, it's not true. Sell at a loss, move the money to something else, and made up the loss in 2 months. Great. Well, now I'm back in Tsly. I got in around the $200 level, roughly, of Tesla. So that way I could try to play that 200 to 180 zone and try to get a bounce from there. So far, that is not happening, right? So here's another thing you could do. What about hedging? Okay, what I mean by that is, let's say you got quite a bit of Tsly. There's nothing wrong with hedging Tesla. There are inverse funds you could buy, right? You could buy puts on Tesla. There's lots of things you can do to go short. Now, you don't want to equal. Let's say you have 1,000 shares of Tsly. You don't want to buy 1,000 of the hedge. You want to cut that hedge about half. So at least you're making something while it's going down if you want to hold your Tsly, right? So hedging is always a great option because you can still make money as it's going down if you want to hold your Tsly, right? And make money as it's going down in addition to collecting the dividends, right? So hedging is really a great option with Tsly. Here's another thing you could do. You could reduce your exposure in Tsly. Now, let's say you you don't want to sell it all, because you're afraid it'll come back up, someday, which, we'll talk about here in a bit, right? So you could trim some, right, and move that to a fund that you think can give you some quick money and some quick potential, right? And you could sell that and start making money from that, also helping offset the losses from Tsly. Number one, you wouldn't have as many shares as it continues to drop, so your loss wouldn't be as much. That money would be in another fund. Maybe it pays a higher dividend. Maybe you can get share price appreciation from it or whatever, right? So you can do that. That's another option you can do. Now, let's talk about Tesla, and then I want to talk about what I'm doing. Like, obviously don't follow what I'm doing. I'm just me, a guy, but still, I feel it's my duty to share what I'm doing. Tesla, in the short term, is in trouble. Here's what's going on. We're in a 2-year downtrend, over 2 years now. Currently, every time Tesla breaks a level of support, it becomes new resistance. There's not enough buyers currently in Tesla that it can move up on its own. There's not a ton of new buyers coming in. A lot of the old buyers are leaving. So anytime Tesla starts going up to a resistance level, people sell off, right? People jump in and short it, and it keeps going down. There's just not enough buyers right now. Tesla needs some kind of catalyst, whatever that catalyst is. And I don't know, I can't tell you what that catalyst is or when it's coming. And keep in mind, through all this downtrend, we got earnings coming up in a little over a month. So what is that? Does that mean it's going to drop to 150 or 100? It's definitely possible. And that's something you need to keep in your mind. Where could future price be going, right? And make your plan accordingly. Now, what am I doing? Well, I'm doing a couple different things. I am holding my Tsly position. I'm not going to trim it, and I will be adding to it on dips. For me, I do think it's a good opportunity for Tsly, just me personally. I think this is a good buying opportunity for me. So I am going to add. I already added around 180 last time it was here. If it drops to the next major support level, meaning Tesla, between 150 and 160, I'm going to add more Tsly. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep adding to my position. Now, I may inverse Tesla, right? I may play an inverse fund once I'm pretty sure 180 is now going to be really good resistance and it's not going to cross it for a time. Then I'm probably going to inverse it and collect some money as it's going down. Now, just my thought process on Tesla and Tsly. I think Tesla's going to recover. When? Guys, I can't tell you that. Nobody can. But I do think it's going to recover. So for me and my plan, it's not smart for me to sell Tsly for a loss. For me, it doesn't make sense because I believe it's going to go up. So why would I do that, right? So for me, this is nothing more than buying opportunities as it's going down. Now, what could change my mind? Well, if Tsly quits paying 50%, it starts paying like 35% dividend or something, that would be an alarming thing for me. And I would probably sell at that point, even if it's a loss. That's what I would do. That's the way the market is. Something's put out in front of you don't like. That's why I'm in Tsly. It's for the dividends. I'm definitely not in it, excuse me, for share price appreciation, right? I'm in it for the dividends. Trying to retire next year, I want this income coming in monthly. And it's got to match my criteria. Not enough risk. There's too much risk in Tsly for me to be in anything that doesn't pay at least 40-45%. Less than that, I got to go. Whatever the loss is, I don't care. That would not sit well with me, and I have to cut it. What would be something else I would cut Tsly for? Something major happened with Tesla that I don't like from a company standpoint, that I think is going to be really detrimental and long-term to the company. Now that would make me also sell Tsly. But for me, I'm holding it. No problems. As long as I pay 50%, I'm okay with it. I understand that this is part of Tesla. You got to have a stomach for it if you're going to hold it. Guys, this thing could go down to 100. No problem. You got to be mentally prepared and ready for that. And does that mean Tsly could reverse split again? Oh, it could. It absolutely could. But that's all dependent upon Tesla. People are saying, oh, it's for sure going to reverse split. Again, people talking in absolutes doesn't work with the stock market. I think Tesla's going to go back up at some point. Buying opportunity for me. I'm staying with it. If you enjoy my content, please gently caress that like button. This is Mike, the Tactical Stock Scalper, out.